Good morning, Stratford Eagles. My name is Mrs. McDavid. I am the 8th grade English and 6th grade Latin teacher, and this is Take a Peek Thursday. I thought about filming for you in front of my bookshelf in my house, but not only is that cliche for an English teacher, it is also the place where I have been filming all of my class videos for the last 2 months, and I personally am sick of it. So I thought I would bring you outside, especially because what I'm sharing with you today is a couple of my favorite poems. And for some reason, poetry and the outside world have always been connected in my mind. And I think there's something about what poetry can offer us as a form of literature that's similar to the way the outside world works for me. Poems are small, they're short, they're sort of these nice, neat little packages of literature, but they pack a real punch. They've got all of these lines of beautiful imagery, they have really powerful words, and the great thing about poems is that because they're short, they get to the point really quickly. They pierce straight to the heart. And I think in the way the outside world does the same thing, and please forgive all of the noise of the outside world that is intruding into this video, but the same way that poems sort of pierce straight to our hearts as works of literature, I think the outside world does something for the human soul as well that's very similar. And so I always think of them together in my mind, and I thought this would be a good spot to read you some poems that I have found powerful, not only in this moment of life, but in many periods throughout my life, and I think and hope that you will enjoy them as well. So the first one that I picked out is called Natural Disasters, and it's from this book, Telling the Bees by Shearin, a wonderful poet. And I thought it was particularly appropriate for our time today. During natural disasters, 2 enemy animals will call a truce. So during a hurricane, an owl will share a tree with a mouse. And during an earthquake, you might find a mongoose wilted and shivering beside a snake. The bear will sit down in a river and ignore the passing salmon, just as the lion will allow the zebra to walk home without comment. I love that there are exceptions. At funerals and weddings, for example, the ants, who never speak, nod politely to one another. When my mother was sick, even the prickly neighbors left flowers and cakes at our doors. And I think this poem just does a wonderful job of speaking to the hope within natural disasters that we have seen a lot of over the last few months. Now my next poem is actually also from the same book, also by Shearin, and I think if you've been in my class, you'll understand quickly why I love this poem so much. It's called Lost Cities. It's the mythic cities I love, the ones no one can be sure of. Give me Atlantis, with its wet beds and staircases, its clocks stopped by tides. Give me Camelot, before Guinevere and Lancelot undressed their betrayal, the knights valiant at their round table, Merlin wise and reliable. Let El Dorado glitter for everyone who went looking, that city just out of reach, its palaces and wine glasses and bathtubs made of gold. May Colonel Fawcett always search for the place he called Z, his body immune to tropical diseases, his desire like a rainforest. Give me the lost cities, the ones that may or may not exist. Draw me a map to whatever cannot be inhabited or found. Take me yourself, by camel or submarine or pack mule. Show me how it shimmers, how splendor fills the windows, how the place we cannot locate is the way we keep ourselves alive. And I think just the mystery and wonder, the sense of adventure in the unknown, all of these mythical lost cities that are out there waiting to be found by the right explorer, just gives me hope and excitement for the future. And my next poem is an old student favorite, and so I thought I'd throw it in, particularly important at the beginning of the summer now. I think you may all recognize some sense in this poem's emotion. It's called Ode to Kool-Aid by Marcus Jackson. You turn the kitchen tap's metallic stream into tropical drink. Extra sugar whirlpooling to the pitcher bottom like gypsum sand. Purplesaurus Rex, roarin' crocodile red, ice blue island twist, sharkleberry fin. On our tongues, each version keeps a section, like tiles on the elemental table. In 9th grade, Sandra employed a jug of black cherry to dye her straightened bangs burgundy. When toddlers swallow you, their top lips mustache in color as if they've kissed paint. The trendy folks can savor all that imported mango nectar and help market juice. We need factory-crafted packets, unpronounceable ingredients, a logo cute enough to hug, a drink unnaturally sweet, so that on the porch, as summer sun recedes, Granddad takes out his teeth to make more mouth to admit you. So, always thought that's been fun. And then the final poem I have to share with you today is another one that I found particularly apt for our day and age, and that I hope if you haven't experienced some of this feeling already, that it might capture you in one of those long, hot days of summer that are just around the corner. This poem is called Talk About Walking by Philip Booth. Where am I going? I'm going out for a walk. I don't know where except outside. Outside argument, out beyond wallpapered walls, outside wherever it is where nobody ever imagines, beyond where computers circumvent emotion, where somebody shorted specs for rivets for airframes on today's flights. I'm taking off on my own 2 feet. I'm going to clear my head, to watch mares' tails instead of TV, to listen to trees and silence, to see if I can still breathe. I'm going to be alone with myself, to feel how it feels to embrace what my feet tell my head, what wind says in my good ear. I mean to let myself be embraced, to let go, feeling so centripetally old. Do I know where I'm going? I don't. How long or far, I have no idea, no map. I said I was going to take a walk. When I'll be back, I'm not going to say. Well, I hope all of you have a wonderful summer and a good break from all of, as the poem says, these computers that are circumventing emotion. I hope you find time to get outside. I hope you find time to walk. I hope you find time to drink some Kool-Aid and dream about lost cities. And perhaps I hope you even have time to take a dive and swim in a book of poetry or something else this summer that inspires your heart and opens your mind. Bye for now.